Hey y'all, it's your friendly neighborhood therapist, and listen, I just want to talk to y'all real quick about something that came up for me as I was scrolling TikTok. I came across one of the content creators who I follow. She's great, and she made a post regarding how we view girls versus boys when it comes to their sexuality, parenting, pregnancy, and all this stuff, and how girls are called fast, boys are not actually held accountable, all these things. And you can go check her video on her page. This is her right here. But I left a comment and I said, you know what, you gonna make me make a video about fear and trauma-based parenting, because that's what this is, what you're talking about. And she said that in her video. A lot of parents rear their children and raise their children from a lens of trauma and fear. And it's not our fault, okay? I'm going to break down why it's not all our fault all the time. But the first way, often, that I know someone who is a parent has not healed themselves, and sidebar, we never fully heal from our traumas. Okay, let's get that out your mind. What we do is we learn how to manage life without our traumas holding us back. Okay, they don't just disappear. The remnants of your trauma remain. You just learn how to still live. You can still live and thrive even if you had a life of chaos and trauma prior to starting your healing journey. Okay, but you never just fully heal. I hate this idea of, oh, you're healed from a psychological, emotional, mental stance. No, you've learned to manage, and you do so well, but at any given moment something can trigger you, and that is also okay. We have to learn to be okay with that. But back to what I was saying. The one clear way that I can always tell if somebody has not really healed as much as they might think is through their parenting. If they are parenting through fear and trauma-based parenting, they have not. Let me give some examples. So even what she was saying, the concept of sexuality when it comes to our children, we rear daughters and sons differently. We know this. Now, a lot of parents are trying not to do that any longer. A lot of the younger generations, my own included, I am an elder millennial, we are trying not to do that. But a lot of us are not. A lot of us stick to what we know because we know that patterns and cycles repeat. But the calling girls fast, raising our daughters in a fearful way, placing shame on them in the area of their sexuality in order to fear them into not messing up. That is a fear and trauma-based form of parenting. You are putting shame on that girl so that she doesn't do a thing. She doesn't do a certain thing or operate a certain way or move and maneuver through life a certain way. Don't put them shorts on. Put some clothes on. Don't do that. You look fast. No, you're not straightening your hair. You're too young for that. Nope, you're not putting no color in your hair. Nope, you are not wearing red lipstick or red nail polish. Absolutely not. See what I'm saying? We literally shame daughters specifically into not figuring out their authentic self, into being ashamed of their bodies in various ways, being ashamed of being a sexual being at a certain point because everybody goes through puberty and has the same feelings and the hormones and emotions that hit. We shame girls though because we parent through fear out of the lens of our trauma. Now, you might be wondering, well, boys go through trauma too, and they do. And we do the same to boys in a lot of ways. Example, and this is actually not even specific to just boys. I will think of something specific to just boys. This is specific to all of our children, especially if you are black or a person of color. Remember, I'm going to always differentiate between black and a person of color, okay? These are different things. But if you are black or a person of color in some instances, fear. I have to get these kids under control before the world beats them down. I need to beat them or the world will do it. I need to make sure that they know how to interact with police, the talk that we have with our children. Fear. This is one we can't get around though. It's just going to exist. We will rear them from a place of fear based off of historical trauma. See how that works? That one we can't get around though. The world won't allow us to get around that one, but the way we parent them is based off of fear and trauma. no matter how you slice it. Boys, there are fathers, and this does not apply to everyone, so don't act up in these comments, but there are fathers who are so very afraid of their sons, and particularly turning out gay, that they try to place toxic masculinity upon them. Boys don't cry. That is a fear and trauma based form of parenting. So then you wonder why you then have grown men who do not know how to feel their emotions, who don't know how to handle their emotions. The only emotion they even understand is anger. And you wonder why. Because you have reared them in such a way because of your fear of what they might become, that now they're the extreme opposite. And in a lot of those situations, first of all, let's be clear, you can't control the sexuality of your child or anyone else. There's no agenda. There's no way to go about parenting a child to make them not something. All right? But there are situations where you have very hyper masculine gay men who fight against it adamantly. Why do you think that is? So yeah, that lens of trauma and then parenting through the fear that that trauma has caused, that's the quickest way to know if somebody has themselves healed or if they are going to repeat the pattern in the cycle in their children, right? And I always tell people there's no cookie cutter way to parent. I'm a parent of 4, 2 girls, 2 boys. I don't always get it right. I don't. I don't know everything. I don't believe in a parenting expert. There's no such thing. Okay. First of all, there can't be a parenting expert when every child is uniquely different. And you literally have to parent each of your children differently. So there's no such thing as an expert because your expert way ain't gonna work on all the kids. But I do think that it is 100% true that if you parent through fear and trauma, you will continue to repeat generational curses and cycles that you claim you're trying to break. Because when you repeat patterns, they just continue to repeat. They don't break. When you parent from a fear-based or trauma-based frame, you know what type of kids you create? You create kids with a anxious or anxious fearful or anxious avoidant attachment style. And then those kids grow up with that attachment style. And mind you, this is how you get situations where it's like, well, my mom and my dad were there. They loved me. They cared for me. They made sure I had everything I needed. They were present. They supported me, at school or in sports or whatever. But you're still anxious and you don't understand how you got that attachment style. Fear and trauma-based parenting. Because they might have been all those things that made you secure, but with the fear and trauma-based parenting coming in spaces, it caused the anxiety. So now you grow up into this adult with this type of style, and guess what you do when you become a parent? You repeat the same cycle. You parent through your anxious attachment style. Therefore, you parent from a fear, trauma-based lens. And it just keeps going. So let me know what y'all think about this. Are you parenting in fear due to the lens of trauma that you see life through? We all do it, so no need in saying you never do it or you know that's not you. Yes, you do. Think about some of the traditional ways you parent that you learned from your mama, that she learned from her grandmama, that you learned from daddy and he learned from his granddaddy, et cetera, et cetera. Think about some of those passed down traditions. I fully agree that all the ways of old are not wrong or bad, but some, they are, but we repeat it because we think it worked while it caused damage that people are in therapy for right now. That's all I got. I hope y'all have a beautiful one the rest of the evening. Ask yourself that question, are you parenting through fear due to trauma? All right, see y'all later.